I'll be very, very brief because it looks like you're all hungry, and we have some hot food up here for you. Just wanted to thank you. We're honored and privileged to have these media days every year. It's all about you folks, not only as athletes, but as students in our school districts. You represent your leaders in your buildings. You represent Akron Public Schools, and we appreciate everything you do.
I'd like to welcome everybody to the Basketball Media Day for the Akron City Series. Thanks again to the AAA and tremendous food we had today. Thank you. Also thanks to our media personnel that are here today, Michael Bevan with the Akron Beacon Journal. We always welcome Peter. He's here with us from WAPS. And Aaron Coleman from WAKR is also here representing 1590 WAKR. So thanks to all you folks for coming today to support us for Media Day. Media is an important part of everything we do in athletics. As you well know, I know everybody likes to see their name in the lights and in the newspaper and hear it on the radio, so they're very important folks for us. We appreciate each and every one of them and the job that they do to help support Akron Public Schools. Without further ado, I'd like to introduce our Director of Interscholastic Athletics, Mr. Joe Vassilotti, and he'll take us on for the rest of the Media Day. Thank you.
Hi everyone. It's appropriate, I think, that we're kicking off winter sports here on such a wintry day out there. It's a little depressing, but hey, it's warm inside and in the gyms, right? So it's all good. It's an excuse not to rake leaves for me too. So they're all like frozen and too heavy. But I want to echo all the thank yous from Mr. Linger, especially Pat Shipe and her crew here at AEA for hosting us so well, as they always do. I personally want to thank Ron and Beth too for all they do in the athletic office to help me. Makes my job a heck of a lot easier. And really looking forward to winter sports. We've talked about it in the office. We're excited to get that going, and this is always a special event, so welcome. I heard a cool metaphor this morning. Actually, I read it on Twitter. And you know, everything on Twitter is true, right? No, but this one has some truth to it. So it brought back the old English teacher in me. So it read, "A smooth sea never makes a skilled sailor." How about that? Yeah. So a lot of leaders in this room, a lot of basketball leaders, right? So as you sail along the sea of your season, you know, the waters are a little choppy, and you know, it's going to build your skills. So the message there is expect it not to be easy, right? Your coaches preach that all the time. You know, deal with the refs not making the call you want. Maybe the gym's too cold. You know, whatever's going on in your personal life, weighing you down, you take it on the court with you, but that's your sanctuary. Block it out and be good for your teammates and play as hard as you can. So be smooth sailors out there. We're going to go in reverse alphabetical order today. So I already warned Coach Meadows, he's up first from North. But so each coach will bring up, you know, your two players, give us a little season preview, and introduce your players to us. So the North Lady Vikings will start us off. Coach Meadows.
Good afternoon. I'm always excited to be here. I never got a chance to start it off, so of course this is the year I didn't bring any notes or nothing. I'm winging it. But I am excited to start this season. These girls have done a lot off season, preparing for this season. I had a vision coming into the door of building a program at North, and the waters were choppy. So it has definitely been a journey, but this off season, this summer, man, we got into some good tournaments. We played some good ball. We got into the gym. We got into the weight room. And from that, hopefully this season you'll be able to see the progression of these student athletes behind me as well as back at home at North. Before I introduce them, I do want to say thank you to Ms. Johnson. Thank you for hosting this event here today. Mr. Vassalati, Mr. Linger, I didn't do that on purpose. Mr. Linger, thank you. They have been a tremendous help for me, my staff, and the girls. We filled our schedule up this year. We planned some real good competition. We're traveling a little bit further outside of our norm. We get to go to Toledo this season. So I think that'd be a great experience for the girls to, because again, we got to get out to Indiana this summer, Pennsylvania. They got beat up a little bit, but it was good. It was good. To the left, I have Akila Prim. The name is familiar. Her sister is usually with me, Amani Prim, who is now playing ball at Tri-C. This is Akila Prim. She had the task of leading this team at a point guard position since her freshman year. She is now a junior. She went through the aches and pains of growing in the system. The body took a lot of punishment being so young. So she's starting to blossom into a great player, and she definitely will bring the leadership to our team that we need. Also, with the 3.4 GPA, she's leading in the classroom and on the court. To the right, I have Lexis Morehouse. She's been with us for 4 years now. And what she brings to the table is so much more than just basketball. She taught me something last year where she had a 4.0. And she said to me, Coach Meadows, I think I need to take a break from basketball. I said, why? She said, I need to raise my GPA. So I looked at her and I said, well, you're talking about a level of excellence that I'm not used to. But what it taught me was that no matter where we're at, we can grow. And we need to, and I preach to them all the time, there's no limit. We like to say sky's the limit. I preach there is no limit. You can go as far as you want. You can prove to anybody, but more importantly, prove to yourself of what you can do. So she took a pause and came back with a 4.8 to prove that she can do it in the classroom, on the court, and she works. So now it makes it my job easy when I look at my team and say, oh, you can do more, no excuses needed. I gotta work, coach, I got this, coach, I got this. So Lexis Morehouse, Akila Prim will definitely help us this year. Would you guys like to say anything?
Okay, so I know that, like, he said that we were working over the summer, and I know that, like, everyone puts in a lot of effort and work over the summer, so we're all growing together. But my team is mainly young this year, and I just feel like these girls have just put in so much effort that our season's going to be good, and we will bring competition, not just a laugh, to the table. So.
Thank you.
Thank you, North. Next, Kenmore Garfield, Coach Jones, you are up.
Good afternoon, everyone. I first would like to thank God for being here, having this opportunity, and I will come back to that. I'd like to thank Mr. Vassalati, Mr. Linger, Ms. Beth Johnson, and Ms. Pat Shipe for allowing us to have this opportunity today. Without you guys, things would be very hard for me. I appreciate you. Coming back to always thanking God first, I know I get up here every year and I say that, and I mean it. because this past December, the doctors threw the C word at me, stage 4. And nothing to be worried about because God is healing me. I just thank God for the opportunity to see another day. If you guys can, I would love for you to say a prayer for me for my healing, because I honestly believe God is healing me. This right here you see, and I always wear my glasses, it was a tumor. And I said was because it was, and I'm not claiming it. All right? If you say a prayer for me every night, I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you. Also, last year, and we fought back for the championship. We had lost some games. I was out for about 5 or 6 games, and we fought back to get in the championship. And right during announcements, we played against Buchtel. They had pink towels, and I just thought that was just so awesome for them to do that for me. That was awesome. A lot of people came out and supported us. They wore pink. They wore whatever, just came out and support, and I really, really appreciate you guys for that. That being said, that championship game, my girls played the best game of the season that day. I was so proud of them. And with me, I have Alexis Ratcliffe and Ayanna Lopp, okay? Everybody knows Ayanna. This is my point guard. She's a sophomore. She works hard on the court. She works hard off the court. She's being vocal this year. I'm proud of her. She's stepping her game up. She's going to help us contend to try to be in that championship game again. All right, and this is Alexis Ratcliffe. This is her second year with me. She has improved tremendously from last year to this year. Looking forward to good things with her. She is a 4.0 student. She is my leader, and I appreciate her help and hard work. Appreciate yours as well. This season, I think we're gonna be pretty tough this season. They've been working hard. They work hard in the summer. We're merged with Garfield. Sorry I have this on, but I'm not going to get rid of my clothes. we have merged with Garfield, and Garfield's girls started coming with me the summer they knew that they had to come to Kenmore. And we've been working well together ever since. And I appreciate everybody. I'm just happy to be here. Thank you.
Thanks, Coach Jones, and we're certainly praying for you. Thank you very much. Next, from Firestone, the Lady Falcons, Coach Claire with her 2 players.
Good afternoon. I want to first thank Joe, Beth, and Ron. Super supportive to me. Thank you to the AEA for having this every year. This is certainly something that I look forward to. I like interacting with fellow city coaches. One thing I do want to point out is that we're not a young team anymore. I'm happy about that. I did not graduate any last year, so I have everyone returning plus a few. We do not have a JV squad this year. I thought it was the best case scenario to take the players that work well together, who can follow the discipline and follow the organization that I put together. That's been a challenge the last couple years, but I feel like this group, my 2 juniors here, my junior group and younger, have fully latched onto that concept, and I think it's going to be very different this year. Schedule is competitive. We play, teams out of the Federal League. We're playing teams locally, obviously within the Tough City series that we have as well. So with me on my right, I have Jada Wallace, a familiar face, I'm sure. She is a junior, and she is continuing to develop as a player. You will probably likely see her in positions 1 through 5, just saying. Sierra Boone to my left, another junior as well. this particular junior group is pretty strong. They've been playing together the longest. So they play well together. Their chemistry is really, really well. And considering that both of these players plan to play at the next level, you will likely, at least at some points or another, be able to see Sierra Boone at the 1, because ideally that's what she would likely play in college as well. So that said, I'm looking forward to seeing a lot of you tomorrow, City Series preview at East High School starting at 5:45. That's something new this year, and we're excited to be a part of that. Good luck to everyone with your season, injury-free, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Coach Claire. Next from Ellet, Coach Wallace, coming off being a head volleyball coach, making the transition to a different ball. Coach Wallace and your players, come on up.
Good afternoon. I was trying to think of that Wicked Tuna, the crazy water show, because that's sometimes I feel like, you said that smooth sailing. But you're right, we learn the most out of adversity. And in my career, I've been here a long, long time. There's been many speed bumps. And I can honestly say this year, it's been a little rough because we graduated a tremendous group of seniors last year. But I have two of the finest at Ellet. And to my left is Alyssa Martin. And there's no regrets for her this senior year. She had a tremendous volleyball season. She's worked to lose some weight and get strong. She's lost 30 pounds to start the season. And as I said, no regrets. She averages a double-double, and she has a GPA of 3.6. And I never worry about her commitment or her desire to get better. She continues to get better. And as Coach Meadows said, a lot of times we learn a lot from our players, and they make us better as well. So there's much to be said about that. And then to my right, I'm hoping she's eligible to play because of an injury. We're still waiting. She has a shoulder injury. But I call her the pebble in your shoe, which is really annoying. She plays tremendous defense. You always know where she's at. And there hasn't been a game where the opposing coach said, man, that girl is like, does she ever get tired? Relentless. And she represents everything you'd want on the court as a leader. And she also has a 3.8 GPA. I do want to say that I have a great group of assistants. Chris Maring has been my assistant for years, and I have a building principal that's very supportive. And again, I'd like to say thank you to the AEA and Beth and Ron and Mr. Vasilati. Without that group of family members, it would be very difficult. So good luck to everyone, and look forward to starting the season. Thank you. You guys want to say anything? Alyssa?
No, I'm good.
She's got a new hairdo for today, so. Good luck to everyone.
It was mentioned earlier, a girls' preview for 5 of our teams will be at East tomorrow, and Coach Anderson from East has organized that. It should be a fun event. Great to kick off the city season. So, Coach, you're up now with the East Lady Dragons.
Again, I want to say thank you to Ron, to Joe, and to Beth. We know that Beth helps keep everything organized and helps all of us coaches. So again, thank you, Beth, for all that you do. Thank you to the AEA for this luncheon every year. It's a top-notch event. I transitioned from coaching boys to coaching girls, and I've been coaching for a long time. And it was obvious when I became a girls coach how the girls don't get the same respect and pub and everything that the boys do. I've tried to improve the profile of not only our girls, but girls basketball in the city. This event tomorrow night, the preview, I've told everybody this is Akron versus everybody. We have teams coming from Cleveland, teams coming from Youngstown, teams coming from Warren. My alma mater's coming tomorrow. And I want our girls to get notoriety and publicity. It made my heart happy. Not only did all 5 of our seniors last year get offers, and 4 went, 2 of them are starting in college. One decided to go into the military, but we went to go, and I tried to take the team, we went to go see a college team practice, and there was Selah from Kenmore playing with the team up there. Girls put as much love and heart into it as boys do. I truly believe that. We deal with more emotions with girls, but they love ball just as much as the guys do. In a perfect world, I'd like to see the girls from the city of Akron get as much recognition and pub and go on so that every one of our schools is represented with girls going on to play next year. Hence part of the reason for this Akron versus everybody tomorrow night. I don't know how many college coaches are coming, but I have put the word out that we're having this tomorrow night. So Akron, we got to step it up, okay? Everybody, we got to step it up. This season, as I said, we graduated 5. Fortunately, we have 5 who are coming behind. Our team is going to be a little different. We're going to rely more on our guard play and speed this year. But I've got a good group of seniors, and I've got a very good backcourt who will work hard. I brought with me today senior Ayanna Murray. And Ayanna, I've known Ayanna since she was in the 6th grade. And I used to coach in Copley, and she was there. And now she's here in Akron with us. So I remember when she was young. The one thing I can say is she's loved basketball from the first day that I saw her. And as a coach, I was excited for her and her potential, even as a 6th grader. So she's got some colleges who are looking at her. She just needs to go out and play and have a good season and stay healthy. I have with me also one of the dynamic duo, the gruesome twosome, the twin power. I have Carrier Pace with me today. Carrier is a vocal leader. She has a close to 3.8 GPA. She will let you know what she thinks. Sometimes that can be like, but when it comes time for her to tell the girls, I've told her she should be a coach at some point if she's not a lawyer, okay? Because she sees things and observes things very well. So with the senior class that I have this year, we're just going to go out every night, and I'm asking them, and we've been talking, put it all out on the floor. So to all the city coaches, may you all be healthy this season, boys coaches and girls coaches. May we all play hard, make the city proud, and somebody come out of the district, be it boys or girls. Thank you. Diane, you have anything to say? Corey, do you have anything to say?
Good luck, everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks, Coach Anderson. And lastly, for the girls from Buchtel, we coach Nuge Bauer, our defending city champions. Coach, come on up.
So I got advice while we waited. Usually I'm done by now. I've been squeezing this ball. This is my least favorite 2 to 3 minutes of the year. Trying to cut down on the ums and ahs. First thing I want to, first, and the waters have been rocky. and despite the heart attack 2 months ago, this is not any easier. A lot of things now are easier for me, but this is not. I want to thank Pat Shipe and AEA, Beth Johnson, Ron Linger, and Mr. Joe Vasilati. Appreciate everything you guys do to help us out. So defending champs the past 2 years, and we're looking to do that again this year. We want to win it again. We're returning 2 first-teamers, 2 second-teamers, 7 letter winners, and then we have 2 newcomers. We've been working hard every day, trying to get better every day. And there's another one, right? 2, yeah. Last year we lost in the district semis, and this year we're trying to go beyond that. Like Coach said, we're trying to get out of the districts and see what we can do in the state tournament. Over the past 2 seasons, 22-1, which we're real proud of, and I know that Imani wants to go out with another undefeated city season this year and another city title. Does that count? Okay. Very competitive scrimmages, and we have a very competitive non-league schedule, which include 4 showcases. We play Louisville in a showcase. We play Chippewa at the Sickforth showcase, Aurora, and Mentor. We also play Talmadge, Chippewa, Talmadge, Kent, Greene, St. V, Nordonia, Copley, and Revere. This year, better than last year, we're trying to go 500 or better in those 11 games. And that should help us, along with our city teams, helping us get ready for the state tournament. The 2 young ladies I brought with me, I'm trying. See, they're really, look at how rough these waters are. I mean, come on. Junior Javan Rogers, last year first team All City, also Player of the Year. Second team All Inland, 3.5 GPA first grading period, 3.3 overall. She's really all around. She can do everything, and she's improving. We're trying to push her to be more of a leader, more vocal, and just do everything at a higher place. And for the most part, she lets, other than critiquing me on my speaking skills, she lets her play do all the talking for her. So we're excited. She's more like a Cadillac. Imani Jackson, our senior, more like a Ferrari or Porsche. Imani's a senior. Last year she was also first team All City and made honorable mention All Inland. She, similarly to the 4.8, which I cannot believe, that is amazing. Imani got a 24 on her ACT, so we're real happy about that. Some of the schools that have offered her scholarships, she'll be able to do that with what she's doing in the classroom. She takes 2 college classes right now. First grading period, she had a 3.9. Overall cum is a 3.7. Worked hard all summer, improved all aspects of her game, and right now she has offers from Indiana Wesleyan and Wheeling Jesuit. Other NAIA or Division II schools that are interested are Ohio Christian and Point Park. So we're expecting big things, and we wish everybody the best of luck.
Good luck, y'all.
Coach Nuge, continued success in your recovery. A lot of vegetables up here to be eaten, by the way.
I'll get some.
Good to see you back at it. I got an now. So thank you to all the girls coaches, and good luck, ladies, this season. We'll transition to the boys now and begin, as we did with the girls, with North. And Coach Smith, you're up, my friend.
Hi. First off, I want to extend my thanks to all those who have been mentioned before. This is my second year at North High School. First year, you're talking about some choppy waters. It's pretty choppy. All right, but I gotta go back to last year first. All right, and I told Milo I was going to call him out today, because last year Milo said anything that we would need at North, he'd be willing to give us, and he didn't give us any players. That's one, right? Number two, when I took the job, I thought it was like the NBA draft, so we purposely tanked last season so we can get the number one ball in the draft. Well, we got to the coaches meeting at the end of the season, there was no draft in place. So I thought we were going to be able to take a player from each team, right, and make this thing work, but it didn't happen. So anyway, I've been blowing Joe's phone and email up, as well as Ron, with the challenges that we face at North. It's really been interesting, but it's been exciting as well. We have some young men and women that I think are dynamic. They just need an opportunity to shine. It was tough for me to pick two individuals to come today because in terms of experience, we don't have a lot of it. Jason Johnson, here's a senior. He's probably got the most experience. He's our shooter. Caught fire a couple games last year. We need him to catch fire all 22 this year. All right. And Andre Yeager is a junior. Didn't play for us last year, but someone that I think can play inside and outside for us, and I believe he's going to be a great addition to the team. But again, last year I thought we focused on three things. We had to change the message that these young men and women were receiving. It kind of saddened me a little bit to hear some of the comments made about them as individuals, even though people didn't know them, right? They look at the win-loss record, how badly they lost in some games, and I thought that wasn't, that's not reflective of who they are as people. So we had to change the message. Number two, we had to change what they see. All right, Kim Sabetta, our principal, has done a great job of wiping the walls clean at North High School. It's an old building. We don't have the chandeliers coming out, the glass windows, all that good stuff, right? But we're doing what we can with the building that we have. So we got a brand new painted weight room, which was donated by Fully Equipped, and our kids put some sweat equity in it. And then we have a team room, something that I used to do at the college level. So these kids came in and painted a space for our kids to have a team room where they can relax, do some homework, play some video games, do all that good stuff, because I think they need that, right? The building may be old, but what's in the building can be new, right? And so we want to keep generating that interest through that creativity of these young people. The last thing I say in terms of the season, we got 10 sophomores. So we're going to be very young. We're not going to be very big. So that means everybody's got to play together as one unit. Skill level, we're still working on that. So everybody's got to play to their strengths. If we don't have anybody that you can put a spotlight on, which is great for me. All right, everybody's carrying candles. And hopefully we can get them all together in a room, and they work together, and then those candles brighten up the space that we're in. So that's kind of where we are. I'd love to have some spotlights, but at this point we don't. But I think these young men have put in the work and the time, and I hope it translates into a competitive season. Thank you.
Thanks, Coach Smith. And he mentioned the team room. That's an example of what he's trying to do there at North, and doing the best with what he has at that building, which, as we all know, isn't the newest building in the district. So congrats to Coach Smith for taking that on, and Coach Meadows as well with the girls, because I know you've done a lot of the same things in your time there. Next, from Kenmore Garfield, we have Coach Murray Hooten. Now, Coach Hooten's back with us, thankfully, in the city, and we're certainly glad to have him back as a head basketball coach. Coach Hooten.
All right. First and foremost, as Coach Jones said, I'd like to thank God for this opportunity. For those that don't know me, as mentioned, my name is Murray Hooten III, and this is my 18th season coaching, 8th as a head coach, and I truly enjoy the profession of coaching. I want to give some thanks out to Mr. Vasilati, Mr. Ron Linger, Ms. Beth Johnson, and the AEA for allowing us to be here and for the invite. I want to keep this brief. As most coaches know, our job is sometimes a thankless job. And for us, I would like to say that part of our passion, obviously, is invested into our young people. And Coach Smith talked about how the inside is new at North. And I love that because part of our focus at Kenmore Garfield, going through our second year in our transition, is to change the culture. And as coaches, we hear that all the time. But that's what we're doing. And part of our standard now is much higher academically. The two young men that I brought with me, I'll start with, is to my left, Carlos Rodriguez-Ray, who's been a nice surprise for us, 6'3". He can play inside and out. He's a slasher for us, can hit the mid-range jumper, shoot the three, and defend. And he's one of those guys that doesn't say much, but when he plays, he lets his play do the talking for him. And to my right, senior Brandon Evans, who is probably the one guy on our team that has the most varsity experience. Most of you may know who he is. He has a big heart, and he plays with that sometimes on his shoulder. He's one of those guys that just won't stop, he won't give up. And I actually learned that for the first time about him last night. We scrimmaged at Maslin Northwest. Actually, it was at Northwest High School. And I told them the last 2 quarters, make sure you play your heart out, and we're not going to lose. And he did everything that he could to will his team, and those are characteristics as coaches we look for. And most of our guys that are with us this year played either JV or did not play at all. So we're going to be somewhat, I would say, young as far as our experience, but as far as our makeup, we have a little bit of everything. We have size, we have length, we have speed, we have IQ, and we have toughness, and which are things that we really, really need at Kenmore Garfield. Going through this transition, I like to say that when I was hired midsummer, I really didn't know what we were going to have. So taking a portion of the summer to evaluate our talent and then look at the numbers, I was pleased because sometimes you just don't know what you're going to get. But coming into tryouts, we had close to 70 guys try out. We had to whittle that number down to about 38 or 39 guys for our 3 teams. So I'm proud to say that we don't have to worry about numbers necessarily, nor do we have to worry about too much academic and eligibility, which in our program, academics are number 1. And I'm so happy that all of you as coaches are sharing your stories about your student athletes because I always like to share mine as well. 3.5 and 3.7 respectively. And these young men are the staples of what, in the direction that we're going academically. So to close, I just want to say as far as the season, I don't ever want to define our success in terms of wins and losses, but rather improvement. And any team that I've ever coached has always been about continuous improvement. And I think that that's really important. So when we see you guys down the road, just know we will be competitive, not knowing how much we're going to win, but I would say we'll be in every game. And I'm looking forward to seeing everybody. Good luck to everybody. Thank you.
Let's go Akron.
Thanks, Coach Hooten. Good to have you back. If I told you Coach Milosevic was up next, you'd probably wonder who I'm talking about. Better known as, more popularly known as Coach Milo. Firestone Falcons, your turn.
Four years with this guys, and they didn't know my name. I like the anonymity. Yeah, that's, in case you ever heard of Pistol Pete Maravich, I used to play with him, and his dad was my coach. So when I walked in the gym, it was never Milosevic, it was son of a. So that's what I thought my name was for 4 years. Nuge, I didn't know about the heart attack till now, which scares the heck out of me because I'm a lot older than you. You know, now I got to watch the diet. Holy cow. What's that? Oh, good. My dad's 97. God bless you. Coach Smith. I don't know if you remember the old Firestone gym. A lot of you, most of you should. I love our new school. I love our new gym. I really do. It's a nice gym. But there's nothing like the old, you know? And our old gym was classic. It was classic for you people that have had the opportunity to play on it. The floor had dead spots, it was dingy, it was old, it smelled, and that's the gym that I want to play in, That's what we grew up playing in. The stuff nowadays is too new and too clean, all right? So, Coach, we're praying for you. We really are, and that's everybody. The way I look at it, and I talked to a couple coaches already, please look at my schedule, all right? If there's anybody on there like CVCA or Highland or whatever that we play, I will give you tape, I will give you a scouting report, I will help you any way I want, because that's what it's about. I mean, growing up, the worst fights I had were with my teammates, all right? But once we got off the floor, we good? Yeah, And that's the way it's going to be. The city's going to be competitive. When we're between the lines, I want to beat the heck out of you guys. Once we're off the floor, I will shake your hands, I will give you a hug, and I will give you anything that you need. But when we're on that floor, that's when you got to bring it. All right. I've only got 3 seniors this year. I brought 2 of them, 2 of my leaders. And it's an old cliche that you practice, the way you practice is the way you play. Well, Tuesday was the worst practice of the year, and I'm shaking my head, and I go home, and the wife says, "You say that every year." And I do. I say it every year because we're not where, I know how good we can be, and we're not there yet, and we haven't played anybody yet. Tomorrow night, we're scrimmaging 3 teams out at Cloverleaf. Saturday, we're at Hawken. Tuesday, CVCA. Next Friday, and I'll kill Mr. Fuller for that. Friday after Thanksgiving, we're going down to Massillon. So I know these guys, they're going to eat well. But anyhow, I've got Laffy Johnson, who is also one heck of a football player, and we'll be playing football or basketball, whatever he wants next year. All right, he'll have that opportunity. I talked about how bad we were Tuesday. Yesterday, they turned it around and had a great practice. Jerome came up to me and goes, "Coach, that's what the kids do." All right, and it's because of him. He's a spark plug, and I mean that in a good sense. He practices so hard and lays it on the line at practice that I know that's going to carry over. And he pushes everybody else. Javion Engel. All right, so those are my 2 seniors. I've got one other senior, George Clemis, who will probably be our starting point guard this year. But I've got more depth this year than I've had in a long time, and it's going to be fun. It's really going to be fun. And as you guys know, Steve White especially used to tease me about, you only play 7 guys. Well, this year I can play 10, 11, maybe 12 guys and have some fun with it. But once again, coaches, if there's anything you need, you know it. I'm going to give it to you, okay? Coach Vassilotti, Coach Linger, they were coaches. That's why they help us out. They know what we're going through. And Beth, the brains of the outfit. Thank you very much. Thanks, folks. I asked them earlier if they wanted to talk. They don't.
You can tell Coach Milo did some radio work. Media personality as well. Thanks, Coach. Next from Ellet, defending city playoff champions Ellet Orangemen, Coach Fisher.
I like the other order better, so I don't have to follow. We're glad to be here again. Obviously want to thank Joe and Ron and Beth that do so much for us, and Michelle Kearns and Missy Blondheim that help us so much over at Ellet, getting our buses, all the stuff that no one wants to do. And we have great support over there all the time. So it's nice coaching at a school that does all that stuff for you, and in Akron where you have a lot of support from everybody. We're very excited to try to go again and win another championship. And the road keeps getting tougher and tougher, and everybody gets better and better in the city, it seems like. And as we consolidate and teams, players move here and there and everything, and everything gets a lot harder, and you have to work a lot harder. Our guys really worked hard this summer. We did a lot of extra weightlifting and a lot of speed and agility training, and I think we're ready to go. We have to get better, a little bit better as a unit. We're going to have to play a lot different than we did last year. We had the big shot blocker last year that erased a lot of mistakes. So this year we're going to have to be more solid and play a little bit faster and make more shots than we did last year. But we expect to win every game, and we are going to compete like that and try our best to do what we can. We're playing a very hard schedule this year. We're playing, our non-league schedule is very, very tough every game that we play. Trying to get ready for the district and try to further what Ellet has accomplished over the last few years. But like I said, everybody else is getting better too. But we think we have some good players, and we think we can compete pretty good this year. We do return 4 starters from the championship team last year, and those guys will go along with Jermon that come over from Coventry, and hopefully we can have some depth. We think we have 12 guys, 10, 12 guys that can play this year, so we'll play up and down a lot more. But it's nice having the kids buy into what you do, and we have great kids over there, and like all of you, it's nice to hear everybody that they're proud of their kids, and we do a good job of hiring coaches that are proud of their kids. I mean, and that's why they're in it. They want to be proud of the kids, and they develop them the way they want to develop their children. So it's just great being involved with that. And I brought along Jesse Nance, which is just a prime time kid, and been with us for 4 years, and we joke around a lot, but we know that he's a great student. He started off horrible his freshman year, and then he did, and was a smart kid, but just didn't do the right things. Now he's a 4-point up there, 3.5, 4-point student, and he's did that for the last 3 years. So it's somebody that we can count on. He was the captain of our team as a junior on a championship team, which speaks highly of him. As a young man, he's well raised, he's well spoken, and he gives a lot on the court. On my other side here, Jermon Hogg, I'm just getting to know him. He came over, Jesse and him played on the AAU team together, and they're good friends, and he decided to come over and play for us this year. And I know we were glad to have him there, and fills a hole in our middle that we lost the player of the year, Al Johnson, last year. So he's gonna get in there and fill in, and what I've seen so far, he's very, very adequate for that job. He grinds hard, takes the ball to the basket, very good player. So that's Jermon Hogg. Do you want to say anything?
I'm gonna say good luck to everybody. It should be a fun season.
Anything?
Hopefully everybody can stay injury free, and just good luck.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Coach Fisher.
Our next team from East will be led by Coach Dawson, longtime city coach. We're certainly glad to have him at East. Coach, you're up with the Dragons here.
I want to thank everybody involved in setting up the media day for Akron Public Schools basketball today. Before I get started, I want to introduce my 2 players first. This is Derviante Russell. I got to go to the senior first. Billy Johnson, a junior. Don't want to embarrass these guys, but there's a lot of potential here. I'm trying to. I couldn't remember what they averaged last year, but I know one game stuck out in my mind. The man had 23 points, 19 rebounds. The challenge is, can you be consistent to do that? He has the ability to do it. Billy Johnson was probably one of our most consistent players last year. I think his high game was maybe 23 points, and maybe he had 15 or 16 rebounds, but he was pretty much a double-double for us, like 13 points, 10 rebounds. That's real important to us. I want to mention some players we think we're still working on. East had a great football season this year. We're getting a late start, which is okay, because all these players we're adding in just in the last couple of days have a winning pedigree behind them. They're used to winning, they play hard, and that's a boost for our basketball program. But besides Derviante and Billy, I have our team's probably going to have 3 seniors, which is Derviante, Keyshawn Mosley, and Dearius Reese. We'll have 7 juniors, which is Billy, Dershawn Jones, Amarion Robinson, Shaheem Pickens, Cartier Trammell, Marlon Lee, and Tariq Williamson. So we have a good solid squad. What I'm hoping to happen this year is we would like to see maybe 7 guys average around 10 points a game to have that kind of balance. And I think that's what will make us really competitive. The first thing I thought about is how we ended last year, and it was with a loss, and everybody else does that too unless you're a state championship. But as I was reflecting back on last season, we did pick up a playoff or a tournament victory in our first tournament game. And we followed that up playing #1 Gates Mills. We were like maybe down 2 at halftime until their superior coaching took over in the second half, and we faltered. But what happened was the game before, when we beat Streetsboro, we had a little group hug in the locker room afterwards. And as we looked around, everybody who contributed in that game is back this year. We had sophomores and juniors playing that game, and everybody's back. So we're looking to have a great season and wish everybody the best of luck. Thank you.
All right, Coach Futch, entering his second year at Buchtel with the Griffs, Griff alum, will come up with his 2 players to talk about their season.
All right, cool. Thanks for having us today. Thanks again to Mr. Basketabll, Coach Linger and Beth, and then the AAA group for putting this on. Some of the kids left, but I also wanted to give them an opportunity to let them know what Akron has to offer in terms of scholarship opportunities. 4.8 and some of the other academic 24, so I'll be probably talking to you guys. But with that being said, second year here, back at my alma mater, and it was a fun first year, just kind of, getting adjusted and getting back into coaching. Took a year off, and I had an opportunity to work with some great student athletes over there, and we didn't think we would be in the position we were last year, being in the city championship and winning the regular season. That pretty much that hasn't been done in 4 years, and at Buchtel, which I did not know, and being the last team to represent the city of Akron in the district championship against St. V last year. So those were some fun times, some great experience for us, and we are got some new faces, and we're going to try to see if we can continue on our journey to get down to Columbus. That's where we want to be, and to cut down nets down in Columbus. So we have 3 seniors. I got one of them here today, Jonathan King, and 3 juniors. Some new faces, 7 sophomores, 1 sophomore here, Tay Perry, was transferred over from St. Vincent St. Mary, and 2 freshmen. That's going to be on the varsity squad this year. So, just working with those young men throughout the summer, playing against some really stiff competition over at Duquesne, Ohio State, and even down in Akron. We played a team top 25 in the country this summer over in PA, and really surprised us in terms of where we're at as far as being competitive. And so that was encouraging, and so now it's kind of get to business to where we're going to face some familiar foes here in the city, very competitive city series, and then out of conference, we'll start with our foundation game against Glen Oak, and they have some good young talent there as well. And Seaford Classic it's an honor to play in the Seaford Classic, just the history behind that, and playing against a Griff, an alum, over at Shaker, and so they're going to have a really good team, and so we'll be ready for that. A couple non-league games at home, Youngstown, Ursuline, and East, and then Gilmore Academy, and then obviously, our said rivals, I don't know why, but St. Vincent St. Mary, and Garfield Heights. We got opportunity to play them at Buchtel, which, that'd be a great opportunity to kind of see where we're at. We got invited to fly into the hoop down in Dayton, play a very storied program in Chaminade Julian. And then Warrensville Heights and Maple Heights, and also play Hoban this year again. So, those would be some great tests for us to kind of get ready for that state tournament run. And and also kind of finish the job of what we started out to do at Buchtel competitively. As far as in the classroom, you know, our guys have been doing a great job in the classroom. We have a core GPA of over 2.9, and so, you know, that's the work that, you know, these guys take advantage of the study tables after school and some of the students that come over from the University of Akron to help us out, and then some just kind of naming some of the new faces that will be involved with the program and returning: Anthony Hunt, Noah Peoples, Addison Singletary, Vernon Smith, Chris Livingston, Rob Young-Jones, and Martavian Johnson. So those are some of the new guys, and I think I covered everything that I wrote down here. And if you guys want to say anything.
This time last year, I had a cast on my wrist, so I'm just glad to be playing like full season my senior year. Got some new guys, like some incoming freshmen and some transfers, so we've been working this whole summer and working hard on the court in the weight room, so I feel like we can like finish the job that we started when winning a regular season championship and then trying to win the city championship like all together, and then finishing what we started at districts and beating and winning the district championship and then possibly like competing for a state championship. That's it, and just hope nobody get injured.
When I transferred over, I just fell in love with the play style, the coaches, with the brotherhood everybody had, and I'm just excited to get the year started. Hopefully compete at a high level and just stay injury free. That's it.
Cool. Good job. Thank you.
Thanks, Coach, and good luck defending the regular season title. A common message from the coaches was the non-league schedules, how they're pretty challenging and competitive, and we look forward to those non-league games. You know, the city, as we know, is going to be competitive. You're all going for the championship there, but we know you're going to represent the city very well in a lot of very competitive non-league games also. So we wish you luck there and good health to all. I wish all our teams could stay injury-free through every season. Unfortunately, that's not often a reality. But those stormy seas, remember, they're going to come up, and that includes injuries sometimes. So, you know, try to sail your way through those and stay positive as leaders for your teams. So thank you, everybody. Thank you, AEA, and the media for joining us again, and Beth and Ron for all your help. Any last comments, questions, anything for the good of the order? You're ready to get back to school, aren't you? Well, good luck and health, everybody. Thank you, and take some food on your way out.